What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mike It Yourself. And starting this week, what we're going to do is do a couple of videos focusing on some of the functionality of the Cerwin Vega head unit we just installed. This is also going to apply to the Diamond Audio head unit that is also for 14 and up. So the older stuff, no. This is 14 and up bikes, not including the new Harleys with the big old displays, right? So this is very specific to just that smaller window. So anyhow, the whole reason I'm making these videos is just because of a lack of content out there for us all to be able to view and see and learn how to do certain things. Sometimes technology isn't always intuitive, and yeah, I'm gonna just try to help my brothers and sisters out there. If you've got something, if you got this radio, or even some of the other Harley radios, they all leverage the iDataLink software, and that is what talks to the CAN bus. So a lot of this stuff is kind of similar. It's not a one-for-one match, and it actually bleeds into the car market as well. So yeah, so anyhow, this first video, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the gauges, because that seems to be the one that has the least amount of content out there. So let's jump into it. Okay guys, so we're at the home page. As soon as you turn on your bike, this is pretty much where he comes. And if you have Android Auto or CarPlay loaded, then it'll eventually make its way to there once it establishes that connection with your phone. Anyhow, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to review the gauges area. So we're going to swipe right until we get to the third page here, select our gauges, and here is where you have the ability to manipulate what gauge you want to see and in what location you want to see it in. Now, I will tell you, once you first install this head unit, at least for me, I was unable to make any changes to this. It wasn't until I had actually hit my start run button and I had happened to start my bike and let it run for a few before I was able to change it, which kind of makes sense. So I don't know if you have a tuner, then you know as part of their process you typically have to hit that run switch, which allows essentially, I guess, the engagement of the ECM. So if you feel like, or not if you feel, but if you're experiencing you're unable to manipulate these and you haven't done that part yet, turn your bike on, let it run for about 2 minutes or whatever, shut it off, and you should be able to manipulate this. I don't know why it's like that. It is what it is. This is the iDataLink Maestro stuff, so you'll probably have the same experience regardless of what head you have, whether it be Cerwin Vega, Diamond Audio, SoundStream, and I forget who the other guy is out there. So I mean, whatever, right? So just know that that would be a similar experience. Anyhow, to manipulate this stuff, super easy. All you do is touch the area you want, hold it down, and your full list of all of the different types of gauges, not design, but values that you want, are listed. So you can navigate through this list by just hitting this up arrow here, and it's got stuff like, you know, injector time, injector duty cycle. A lot of this stuff, I have no idea what the hell it is. Gear position, if you want to see your gear position. I will tell you on this one here, it's a little tricky, but it mirrors what happens down here. And what I mean by that is, when you're at a light and say you're in first gear, the minute you pull your clutch in, it goes to neutral. It says that you're in neutral, but that's not true. What it's doing is it's feeding off of the information from the ECM. If you pay attention to your little gauge down here and you're at a light and you pull in your clutch, it goes from showing your indicated gear to blank, right? Your neutral light doesn't come on, but it goes blank. So just as a heads up, I don't want you to interpret that false indication as that you're truly in neutral. As soon as you let your clutch out, you'll see what gear you're in, and you kind of go on. Anyhow, so you can go through and identify what value you want there, right? So when you first get your unit, I believe it's I think they start you off with the RPM there in the middle, so you can go ahead and change it to whatever value you want. So say you want to go, I don't know, this is like just random, quarter mile. So you can do a couple of options. So depending on which one you select, those options are going to change. Some of them you have a lot, some of them you have no options, right? So like in the quarter mile, you can set a max, a minimum, a peak, what units, and history. Actually, you can only do these two. I'm sorry. The other ones are like that. Maybe they light up once you get some history, to be able to show that information, right? So what's the purpose of these? Let's go back to what I had selected. Let's go back. Oop. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to set this. I want to use speed. Now with the speed, you can change the gauge itself, right? Like as far as how far it measures. Okay. So what I mean by that is, you see how this one goes up to 120? If you want yours to go up to 120, you can change it here by going up to 110. You set it. And now if you go back, my max there is 110. If I change it to 120, it'll show 120. So that's what that's for. Hold it down. You can also choose your units. So if you want to do kilometers, you can do kilometers. If you want miles per hour, you go English. And then you can, set your peak. So that'll basically leave you a little caret to see how, like, what was the fastest you went. And then minimum would adjust the lower edge of the scale. So like 0 miles per hour, right? You want to know when you're not moving, I guess. Or you can set it to just 5. Totally up to you. If you want to touch, or if you want to change any of the other gauges, you just do the exact same process. You hold it down, and that'll take you to your screen. The numbers here represent the different positions. The big center one, of course, is number 1, and I forget what it is, but essentially that's not too important, other than you know which one you selected because you just touched on it, right? Anyhow, so I know some folks feel like a lot of this information is redundant to what you already have at, on your bike, and that is true. However, where this is a benefit, in my opinion, is it gives you all of the information you're looking for and brings it into your view as you're looking forward of your bike. Instead of having to look down in order to see these gauges, you see everything in one location. You don't have to look left, you don't have to look right, whatever it is. You get it all here. On top of that, you get additional information that you don't get with your bike. So stuff like oil pressure, I like that. Voltage is important to me, so that's why I put it there. I like the ability to see what my fuel economy is like, so that gives me that information there. What the external temperature is outside, so that's cool. And of course speed, right, because I want to know when I'm about to get pulled over. Anyhow, yeah, so super easy to use. I hope this video helped you out. All right, guys, so just a short one. We're gonna have a couple more just to go over certain functions of the bike, again, to share with you all, so that way you know how to manipulate your head unit. I hope this brought some value, right? There's not a lot of information out there over this stuff, so I just wanted to share with you what I've learned so far. If there's something specifically that you're looking for, drop me a line in the comments, let me know. If there's enough to it, I'll create a video. If not, then I'll just drop a short, and that way I can share it with you all that way. So I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a member already, become a subscriber. And until my next video does post, I hope to see you in the win.